This is Bruce Boudreau, and it's time for Clay's Canucks commentary live. Let's go with Clay right now.
Hey Canucks fans, and welcome to Clay's Canucks commentary live, presented to you by Van City Experts. Take number 2. I'm Canuck Clay Emo, and this is my Canucks take, all in one take. It is it's Tuesday night, January the 24th, and the Canucks have won the first game under Rick Tocchet's tenure. They beat the Chicago Blackhawks 5-2. You can tell I was so excited that when I started, I played the wrong song, and then it didn't even matter because my microphone wasn't connected, so I don't even know what you guys were listening to. And yes, not the best start overall for sure, but I'm here now. Okay, just making sure that everything is working. And I admit, when I'm at the game, it actually is pretty rushed to get back here because I not only have to get out of the arena, say bye to people, went to the team store, got to get to our car, got to get to my office where Gail had her car. Then she drives home. Then I drive home. Then I get all my stuff ready for church because I'm going there after this. And then I have to set all this up, like the lights, the camera, because I used the camera at work today. And then I didn't even plug the microphone in. So now I am focused. I am ready. I am in a good mood because, yes, the Canucks win 5-2. Moderators, thank you in advance. Do what you got to do. Members, legends, Hall of Fame members, franchise members, thanks to all of you. Make sure you check out my message on my community tab for you members and everyone else, no matter where you're watching from. Whether you're in my beautiful neighborhood in Steveston, in Richmond, in the city, Lower Mainland, province, country, continent, or around the world. Thank you for being here. You know that I do not take you for granted. You know that I know that you could be doing anything else, watching anyone else, getting ready for bed, school, work, all of the above. But the fact that you are here with me, I am so grateful. Know that I always appreciate you and I never take you for granted. So let's get going. Actually, no, I want to show that. That's pretty funny, actually. Dog with new intro. Hey, this is Rick Tocchet. You're listening to No, let's go with the no. I like Rick Tocchet, but I'll get to that in a second. That's fine. So, members, thanks to all of you and everyone else. Thanks for being here. You know what you can do. You can subscribe so you can get active in the chat section and so you can get my videos every single day. You can like the video. There's 66 of you in here, which is awesome. Only 12 likes. We got to bump that up to at least 30. You know I like the 50% rule. You can leave a donation, start the donation train, get it out of the station. You can gift memberships. You can become a member. You can upgrade your membership. Whatever you do, I appreciate you. But most importantly is get active in the chat section for sure. Yes, 66 of you in here, only 15 likes. Let's continue to bump that number up. If you're listening on a podcast platform, make sure you rate and review. And this is the one night, Tuesday night, where I can't go late because I have to wind up by 11:40 so I can get ready and get to church by midnight tonight for my prayer hour. I will go for the first 15 minutes, then I will turn it over to you for the last 15 minutes. There's a lot of people that I appreciate everyone that's here, but there are a couple names that catch my eye tonight. Robert, SDPN mod and producer extraordinaire, 206 in Toronto. What are you doing, Robert? Actually, I know what you're doing considering our group chats today. Thank you for being here, Robert. And this is a name we haven't seen in a while. Got thrown out by the number 1 in his name and then calling me Mr. Emo. So this is a friend of Kayla from school. This is Hillen with the 1 in there. So is it number 1 in? No, that doesn't make sense. It's Hillen. So thank you, Hillen, for being here. And Kayla and Hillen, don't be on the phone because 11 o'clock is your cutoff time, Kayla. But I guess if you're talking on the stream, that's a bit better. It's fine. Hillen, glad that you are here. Okay, friends, you can tell I'm in a good mood. I'm in a good mood because the Canucks won. And I admit, okay, let's get this out of the way right now. Actually, before we get this out of the way, I better recognize this donation. Elfren, choo-choo, gets the donation train out of the station, $5.31. I have no clue what that's for, why that number. Canucks look good, dominate Chicago. Horvat tying his goal record. Happy for him, but praying for his hockey future, whether it's here or elsewhere. Oh, the 31 cents is probably for Horvat's 31st goal. The 5 is maybe because that's how much Elfren can afford or he wants to give. Or maybe that's because we scored 5 goals. Kind of wish they scored 50 goals. But Elfren, thank you for the donation. Let's give some love to Elfren in the chat for sure. And Robert, you're not always snooping. You're taking care of me no matter what stream I'm on, what show I'm on. By the way, I've ordered some magnets so I can put this up on this arm starting tomorrow. I think that's going to look pretty sick when it's like this. But then I realized I didn't have to do magnets. I could have just done Velcro strips. So, because this is very light, as you can see. So I'll figure that out, but that'll be up for tomorrow's stream. There's a few things that I get. I get that Chicago is a very bad team. They're one of the only 5 teams that are worse than the Canucks in terms of points. And Chicago is one of them. And they look like it. They had 14 shots on goal for the entire game. We had that many shots with 5 minutes remaining in the first period. So I get that Chicago is not a good team. I also get that for every time the Canucks win, every 2 points, it actually hurts our chances a little bit of increasing our lottery odds. I get that too. I'm relatively smart sometimes. But here's my theory, you guys, and tell me if I'm right or wrong. My theory is that while I'm not saying they're the smarter fans, but a lot of the fans on Twitter, at least the vocal fans, the ones that say we should lose, we should not try and get points, we should try and move up higher in the draft standings, lower in the standings overall. I'm not convinced that's the majority of fans. I think they're the vocal minority, and I'm not saying minority like 5%, 10%. It might be 30, 35, even 40%. But if you surveyed all 18,000 fans that were in the arena tonight, my guess, and tell me if I'm wrong, my guess is that more than half of them don't care or don't think about draft position, lottery odds, tanking, whatever. Yeah, see, I can say it now. I'm mature. But I'm going to argue that most fans actually still want the Canucks to win. Most fans wanted them to play well for Rick Tocchet. Most fans wanted them to play well for themselves after everything they went through. Now, so again, we are intelligent mostly, and we have quite intelligent discussions mostly, sometimes not always, in the chat section. And I think there's a general acknowledgement, there's an understanding, even if you don't want it, there is an understanding that there's a certain benefit to not winning. I think we all get that. But my point I'm trying to make is I'm not sure that all fans either get that or care about that. And yeah, Marcus, I'm not sure why you're still awake. Peter says you're absolutely wrong. Peter, tell me why you think I'm wrong. Because I've just laid out an argument, not even an argument, I laid out a point that I think some people acknowledge it. But, unless you're saying that you think I'm wrong, absolutely wrong, that when I say that the majority of fans in there want to see them win. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm willing to hear your argument. I don't think I'm absolutely wrong, but I would love to hear your argument, Peter. And I will say, when I was in the arena, when Rick Tocchet was introduced, it wasn't all boos. It certainly wasn't all cheers. It was a mix from where I was, and I was up pretty high. It was a mix. And I definitely heard some boos for sure, but I did hear and see some cheers and some clapping as well. So, and he was really funny in his media availability afterwards. Thomas Drance brought up the reaction, and then he says, "Oh, I guess you guys didn't know that my middle name was Lou. So I guess some people knew that my middle name is Lou." And Tocchet was actually smart enough in that to say he didn't have to go on and say, "So they weren't booing, they're actually looing." He actually stopped it right there and let the reporters kind of fill in the gaps, which they obviously were able to do. So that's kind of interesting that it was brought up to Tocchet, and I really like the way he acknowledged it. And you guys remember, that's what I've been saying the past 3 days is, I'm not saying you have to cheer your head off for Rick Tocchet. I'm not saying you have to boo for Rick Tocchet. I always say, I can't tell you how to cheer, how much to cheer. But I have been on record as saying, I think he's going to have a tough go to start off only because he's not Bruce Boudreau, only because he is the person that replaced Bruce Boudreau. And no, Rosero, I was not in 319. I was actually in Encore tonight. And I think it really articulates this dilemma, so to speak, really well. She says, I agree most people would still cheer when they've paid to attend a game, or they'd be conflicted about booing the team when they score while everyone else around them is cheering. And Justin says this, I can sort of agree with you. Most fans in the arena would want to see wins because they care for value and entertainment, and they paid. I think that's a big part of it. While the more in tune fans have stopped attending. And Peter, I agree with you. This is the right year to not do well in the standings. But my argument is that I don't think everyone thinks that. So anyways, I'm going to leave that with all of you because I want to actually, it's going to lead to my mid-show question that I do want your feedback on. And yes, we did see actually, it's funny. I was at the game, Jamie, and I actually did not see that jersey, and I was watching the play. I think my is because the play was in one end of the ice, and the jersey hit the ice, and then the linesman quickly picked it up and put it on the Canucks bench. So I don't. I think they took it pretty quickly. They took care of it very quickly, and fans didn't have a chance to react to that. Peter says, most fans think that, Clay. Peter, I don't know how you can say it. I don't know how you can say that most fans think that. I think you can say most fans in the stream think that because this is our sample size. And I'm not fighting you on this, Peter. I hear your point. But I all I'm saying is I'm not sure. I'm not saying I disagree with you, Peter. I'm saying I'm not sure that most fans think that way. And if you're of the opinion that's the case, then that's all good. That's all good. My point is I'm not convinced, and I think that's good. See, you guys, for everyone else, this is how you can have a constructive dialogue when you don't agree with someone. You don't make fun of them. You don't say that they don't know as much as you. You don't call them names. You just say, okay, I hear where you're coming from, and this is where I'm coming from. And I'm not even stating an opinion about what I want them to do. I'm just stating an observation. So, Peter, I appreciate that. I appreciate you expressing yourself. Let me quickly talk about this game, very quickly, and then I will turn it over to you. So I'm not going to go through every single goal because I do have to wrap up by 11:40 for sure. But if I can do a quick game wrap up in 5 minutes, I will do so. Okay, yeah, really quickly. Patrick Kane scores after a first period where the Canucks dominated the shot clock at least, and he scores with 2 minutes left. That he kind of does a curl, does a wrist shot, and puts it high over Delia, who never looks that big in the net. 1-0. Kuzmenko scores his first of two from beside the net. Then Lafferty scores on a kind of that's probably the only play I didn't like at the Canucks. Kind of just let him skate to the middle, put it in, and then Kuzmenko scores a second goal on a nice deflection. PD assisting on both those. And now it's 2-2 going to the third. Joshua and Dries score really nice goals. Both of them going to the net. Joshua was the one where, remember he thumped Kane behind the net, so Domi went after him. So after Joshua scored off a good goalmouth play, Domi cross-checks Joshua into Mrazek, and then thankfully Mrazek was okay. And then Dries, just 34 seconds later, a beautiful goal. I don't know where this came from. He actually went between his legs, which was pretty amazing. And when you have Joshua and Dries scoring, kind of like your bottom six, kind of what Rick Tocchet wants. He wants his bottom six to step up and contribute more. They did that. And then Horvat scores a shorthanded goal. So the Canucks were 6-on-4 into the empty net. No doubter. Wins the faceoff and boom, slaps it down. And it's 5-2. If Horvat didn't score, I would have nailed my 4-2 score. The very first game of Rick Tocchet's tenure, I would have got my 4-2 right away, but it wasn't meant to be. Team stats, 48-14. I think that stands out to me the most. 48-14 were the shots and goal. Bad power play for the Canucks, though, 0 for 5. That's probably the only negative from tonight's game. And then, hits were even. Blocks, they're out blocked 2-1, but that's because they had 48 shots. Chicago had way more chances to block shots for the Canucks. And then you look at the scoring. You had Pettersson and Kuzmenko leading the way with 2 points each. In fact, 9 of the 12 forwards got at least 1 point, which is nice to see. Then Schenn had the most assists, most points of the defenseman. Hughes had 1 assist as well. Delia's save percentage isn't that great, actually. He only had to make 12 saves, and I would argue that none of them were particularly difficult. And Rick Tocchet, he has talked a lot about ice time. He doesn't want guys playing 22, 23, 24 minutes. Well, he was successful in that, except for Horvat. Horvat played 24 minutes, and that's because he's a beast on the power play. He's a beast on the penalty kill. He takes all important draws. So 24 minutes for Horvat, but no one else, no other forward over 20 minutes. Besser with 19, Miller with 19, Petey with 18 and a half, and then so on and so forth. Lowman with Lockwood at 6. On D, it was Ekman Larsson, Tocchet's favorite player, at 23 minutes. Hughes at 22, Myers at 20, and then Kyle Burrows, the low man there, at 13. Very important to manage the minutes because the Canucks play 3 and 4 this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, including a back-to-back where they make the quick jaunt down the I-5 to play against the red-hot Seattle Kraken. So overall, I'll say this. I thought the Canucks played a structured game. I thought they a little worried that they weren't taking advantage of their chances, but they scored when they needed to. I liked how it was role players who did some of the scoring. And overall, I am happy for Rick Tocchet. I'm happy that his first game was a win. I'm not saying he's going to rattle off 7 in a row like Bruce Boudreau did, but much easier to enter a market with a win than a loss. So I am happy for Rick Tocchet. I am happy for this team, and I am happy for just overall the fan base. I was in the arena. It was the celebrating Lunar New Year. Marie Huey, #1 anthem singer in the city. She crushed the anthems as always, and she looked great in her cheongsam, the Chinese outfit. And they did a few things. I was involved with the Eliminate, which is the anti-Asian hate campaign. So that was kind of cool. And Gail and Kayla were at the game with me as well. I got to meet a lot of fans, including Asian goalie. And I think it was Ty from last night's stream. I got to meet them in the second intermission, like I said I would. And I got to meet a bunch of other fans as well. So overall, it was a great night, capped off by a Canucks win. And I'm at the 20-minute mark. So that's perfect. That's halfway through my show. So I will stop sharing this. I'll do my mid-show sponsor read. And this is what I want to know. So you can start to type up your answer, but don't press enter just yet. No, you know what I'm going to do? I think I'm going to do it like this because it'll help me stay up to date. I will do my mid-show sponsor read, and then I will ask the question. So then I don't fall so far behind so quickly. You'll see what I mean. Shout out to my primary sponsor, Van City Experts Real Estate. Contact Jason Lim and his team for all of your real estate needs. Shout out to my secondary sponsor. Oh, did I have this comment on the whole time? Oh, that's fine. I like Peter. Shout out to my secondary sponsor, Perform and Transform Personal Training and Weight Loss. Sign up for a free 21-day weight loss challenge at ptformweightloss.com/CanuckClay, and Coach Patrick will contact you. It's going across the bottom of the screen right now. Thank you to Gassy Jack Art, maker of this fine artwork. Thank you to Monkey 9 Brewing, my eternal sponsor. And thank you to Vessi Footwear. I did talk to them today. We are lining up this next promotion that I'm going to launch on February the 1st. So not a $15 discount, but $15 worth in products by buying their latest shoe. So look for that. Look for that promo coming up in a week or so, and I can't wait to share that with all of you. Mid-show reminder to you to subscribe, like the video, leave a donation like Elfren did, become a member, upgrade your membership, and most of all, keep getting active in the chat section. And if you're listening on a podcast platform, make sure you rate and review. My question to you, given what you saw tonight, yeah, Angus, I do, yes, and I said that right off the top. This is a win over the Chicago Blackhawks, one of the 5 teams that are actually worse than the Canucks in the standings. My question to you, and I'll just ask it. What do you want of the Canucks for the second half of the season? Lose all their games, win all their games, lose but have really exciting games, Do you want them to keep Horvat? Do you want them to trade Horvat? Do you want them to re-sign Kuzmenko? Do you want them to trade Kuzmenko? Tell me what you want to happen. Tell me what you want to happen for the rest of the season. And I was kind of thinking about this because when I was driving home, I was kind of thinking, like, I cheer for the Canucks to win. It's innate in me to cheer for the team to win because I'm spending time, energy, and money on this team. But I do get that how it does harm our draft chances. I'm smart enough to realize that. Hey, Harry, love the Flying Skate jersey. Thank you. Do you prefer the last year's Flying Skate or the one they have? I love the one that I have. I'm planning to get a PD jersey. Perfect. Mark wants a huge trade that reshapes the Canucks. Mark, give me what a huge trade looks like. Love it. Robert says, lose but have fun. See some fight in the team, but if it doesn't go well on the score sheet, I'll take it. Losing 7-1 every game isn't fun. Yes, yes, and yes. Talk, there it is. Just doesn't sound right. Lose all your games, trade Horvat, keep Kuzmenko. Okay. Lose but exciting, trade Kuz, Miller, Shen, and then resign Shen as a UFA and trade Besser and Garland for defensemen. Lose, but at least work hard. That's all I want. And most importantly, get picks and more prospects for Abbotsford. I want them to keep Horvat and some wins, but losses will come too. Yeah, they will. Lose, but have exciting games. Trade Rick and win and get into the playoffs. Okay. Trade Rick, like trade Rick Tocchet. I don't know. You can trade a coach. In a perfect world, I'd want them. Hey, Tyler, wait a sec. I'm trying to look at, is your icon, your avatar, our picture tonight? That's awesome, Tyler. Thank you. It was great meeting you and your two friends named Josh, both wearing Edmonton Oilers jerseys. That was weird. In a perfect world, I want them to lose in regulation, but have really exciting, nail-biting games. I want to see the Canucks show improvement in their gameplay over the first half of the season. Should they do so, perhaps they can carry that into the next season. Okay, so build some good habits. We've seen this before. A new coach comes in, lowers the draft odds. This team thrives under a new coach at first for some reason. I'm still on Team Tank, and I think Bo will be traded for retool pieces. All right. Win-win-win. Keep Bo, continue structure, build for now and future. Build chemistry with Tocchet. Win as many games as they'll make the coaching change worth it. Make big trades necessary for the team's future. In the process, sink in the standings. Hopefully get a great draft pick. I want this season to be the last really bad one. Okay, so take one more bad season so you can move from there. Keep Horvat and Kuzmenko and win every game. Sign Kuzmenko and trade one of the D-men to help out with our defensemen. Okay, well, you better get a good D back then. Progress is in the team, whether it's a win or loss, game to game. So you just want to see progress. First overall doesn't mean Stanley Cup winner. Stamkos, Crosby, Ovechkin, McKinnon, and Kane are really only first overalls I can think that delivered a cup. Marner, McDavid haven't delivered. I think you mean Matthews and McDavid. I don't think Marner was a first overall pick, but I hear what you are saying. Change the team to the Canucks. Yeah, if that Fox reporter would have anything to do with it. Play hard but lose. The trade deadline can't come fast enough and trade a bunch of players, Miller, Besser, and Garland. Canucks. I want to see the team in the playoffs. Would love to hear the U2 intro again, but I want them to be properly constructed so they can be competitive like for real. Yes, we want sustained competitiveness. By the way, 115 of you in here, which is awesome. Only 34 likes. Let's get that to 50. Let's see if we can get those likes to 50. Hey, Josh. Let's go. I'm the Josh in the Oilers jersey. There were two Joshes in Oilers jersey. Were you the one on my left or the one on my right? Regardless, I'm not sure why your name is Losh, but thank you for being here. Trade Besser, Miller, and Shen for top D guys and keep Kuzmenko. Sign Horvat and trade him on draft day for the 9th overall pick. For this season, lose games preferably in embarrassing fashion, except for the ones I go to. At least you're honest, Justin. Losses in close games only send positive reinforcement to ownership to keep thinking we were right there. Wow, that's a real take, Justin. That's a real take. What was your favorite Pat Quinn trade or signing? The one where he brought the series of trades were about Ronning, Courtnall, and Momesso over. Lose to have a good first round pick, trade Horvat for a first round pick, sign Kuzmenko for 3 years, $5 million a year. I think that's wishful thinking, Ben. I think it's gonna be more than that. Talk it like it's hot, not bad. I think Canucks should explore a Horvat and Kuzmenko trade and rebuild the blue line. I think both of them can bring in top pairing right defensemen, which Canucks desperately need. I think Horvat could. Kuzmenko maybe a second pair, but yeah, now you got two good defensemen. Keep 96, trade 53 is only worth his overall career stats. More hits, battle of backup of the goaltenders. Walk it like I talk it. Clay, I recommend watching the Hockey Guy videos. The videos I recommend is Mismanaged Assets and the Rick Tocchet video, and you will see where I'm coming from. No, I watched the Hockey Guy. I don't have to watch it to see where you're coming from. Peter, I know where you're coming from. I know where you're coming from. Play hard for the fans and lose 3/4 of the games remaining. Trade Horvat for prospect, pick and right-handed D-man. Re-sign Kuzmenko, trade Brock Shen, draft Fantilli or Bedard. Well, Ricky, if that all happens, I think we'd be good. Would I start Delia again for tomorrow? No, back-to-back, limited travel. I go Martin and then go Delia on Friday, and then you have a break. Sign Horvat and trade Miller when Miller's contract starts, or before Miller's contract starts. I want draft equity rules to change for next draft. Every team gets equal chance for first overall. No more stanky teams. I want my second Abbey Canucks. I want to my second Abbey. Oh, you went to your second Abbey Canucks against Toronto Marlies for nothing. 4. Tristan, type that again because I'm not sure what that means, but I want to know. Oh, I haven't seen this name in a while, and I don't know how to say this again. It's like tortoise, right? Blastus. If Sportsnet offered you a job as an analyst, would you leave your current job? Really depends on the terms. Everything from pay, obviously, travel, expectations, content creation, all that. I think I could do a good job. I really think I could. It's not my career goal to become a media person. I kind of like where I am as a fan, as a content creator, but not considered a media, but still afforded some really cool opportunities once in a while. But yeah, great question. Great question. I'd have to really think about it. Lose. Trade Miller, Horvat, Myers, Besser, Garland, Kuzmenko, Pearson, Pullman. Get lots and lots of picks, prospects. Be terrible. A few years, 3-4 years, be like Avalanche or Tampa. All right, YouTuber. Hopefully we see consistent effort, win or lose. Trade Horvat so we can get a D-man back. Maybe things need to change. Definitely keep Kuz. We can disagree or agree. I ain't going to be harsh. Don't worry about it. I'm not worried about it. John knows I would never do that. I was raised to have honor and respect others. Yeah, I met you, Peter. And you're a good person. And we can have different takes. That's our take wasn't even that different today. Our take was basically, it wasn't about our own personal takes. It was, do we think that the majority of the fans want the Canucks to lose? That was my question. It wasn't even about our own personal takes. Josh Lee equals loss and Josh Maw equals Mosh. Thank you. That still doesn't tell me who is on the left and right though, but Losh and Mosh. Get Connor, keep Bo. Paul Newman to throw the DJ's laptop from his balcony. Don't you ever play where the streets have known you again. Walk it like I talk it. There's another one. Love to appear on your channel. I love to express my opinion and my mindset with this team. I'll keep that in consideration. Peter, thank you. Naslin for Stoyanov was a great trade, Rome. You're at the game. Nice. Nice. Hughes is not playing like a difference maker. Dare I say overrated at the stage. I didn't see him dazzling as he once did. I think he's had an excellent season, and he's been scoring recently, and his point total is good. But that's fine. With Kuzi and Horvat to become UFAs, unless we sign it, may be good for the next to trade both for picks, quality D-men. Perhaps trade Miller if it means salary retention. Yeah, but for what? For 8 years? Hey, would we get much for JT if we traded him? Edmund, no. I don't think you get a lot because whoever takes him got 8 years of him at 7 years of him at $8 million, which is crazy. You must be a proud father watching your son JT emo back check for once. He had a strong game, Peter. He had a strong game today. If they don't win the draft lottery and get like 5th overall, do you think they can turn Horvat into Bedard? I mean, like trade Horvat for a lot of pieces, then trade those pieces and 5th for a first pick. Good question. Unlikely, but I think it's worth exploring. Thank you, Blastus. I think I would do a good job as well. Thank you. Imagine people not realizing that you support the corrupt Silver Spoon Aquilinis every time you pay the organization. All fans need to protest all remaining games. Clean slate, force fire ownership. That's a strong but fair opinion. Do you think Tocchet will do a minor change or keep it the same for Friday's game against Columbus? Well, he's got a game in between that, Harry. They play the Kraken tomorrow, so my guess is he doesn't change. He might change the goaltender, though. Only way if you truly care about the team's future, meaning boycotting this year. I want to see the Canucks with more walk. Yeah, walk with Yan. Steven Yan was there today. I still think it's important for Tocchet to win his debut. Yeah, I agree with you, Edmund. I do. I agree with you. Yes, I know Steve Dangle quite well. I've had him on my show. I think we have different approaches, and I respect what he does, and I like what I do. If Kuzmenko, and I like him a lot. He's the one who brought me on to Steve Dangle Podcast Network Game Over Vancouver as well. If Kuzmenko comes at a price of 6 or more, I'd trade him. If he take 3.5 to 4, I'd keep him. Yeah, the thing is, you don't know though until you start negotiating. So, and you got to negotiate before July 1. In Seattle for the game tomorrow. Back to Vancouver on Thursday. Nice, Birdie. Nice. Would I accept a triple threat match with me and John at WrestleMania? I have a feeling you two would double team me and beat me to pummel me. So no, I do not accept that match. What are your thoughts on the jersey being thrown in the first 5 minutes? Yeah, Aiden, I mentioned that I didn't even see it happen. And it got cleared off the ice pretty quick, so I didn't think much of it. If someone wants to waste their money, whatever. You don't need to trade for decent defensemen. They're often overlooked. You just need to find them, pay them decent term, and lose the bigger contracts. Defense should be the salvage projects. That's fair. Good night, David. Thanks for being here. Who from this team do you wish the Canucks had versus the Bruins in 2011? Petey and Shen. Those are, if like I could name a lot of guys. Petey, Shen, and Hughes. I think we had enough offense. We needed more toughness. So, well, that's only Shen then. Yeah, Petey, Shen, and Hughes maybe. Dan Russell, never let people ask about what ifs. What if you trade this guy or that guy? It's not interesting. Sorry. No, that's true. I mean, I see a point to that because then you can come up with anything, and if it's not steeped in reality, but a lot of people, on the other hand, do like that. That's why certain YouTubers who make those type of videos do really well. I feel like we need to get Brian Burke, 1999 draft magic to get Bedard. Does anyone know how Tocchet did the lines for the game? Yeah, he did. Besser, Horvat, Studnicka, but then put Joshua up there. He did Miller, Garland, Dry, Petey, Kuzmenko, Mikheyev, and then Joshua with Lockwood and Lazar. Expecting them to get trashed tomorrow. Nice. Ben agrees with YouTuber. First impression for Tocchet. I like the way he talks in the media. He's a straight shooter. I thought he was fine. And he's saying the right things. Blastoise. Yeah, you guys have taught me this before, and I think I butcher it every time. Thank you. Canucks are projected to draft 6. Not too bad. The prospect is Will Smith. I know it's not the same Will Smith who slapped Chris Rock. Yeah, top 5 pick would have been even better, but we'll see. Kuzmenko is a fan favorite. The team store wouldn't have his printed shirt for sale. Heck, they made his shirt over JT Miller. Interesting. Do you think John and John will leave this season? I don't think so. No, they've been around for a long time, Birdie. Just leave it. Yeah, I think Blastoise is probably sick of me butchering the name. Why randomly throw a jersey 3-4 minutes in the game, just get thrown out right away? At least throw it near the end of the game. There's some strategy there. I had to watch it again and see the jersey on the ice. Yeah, me too. I didn't even see it when it happened. Red Wings are a team to keep an eye on. Freeman said either the Bruins or Red Wings have the right pieces. Landbo. Okay, I'll take that. All-time favorite Canuck is Roberto Luongo. Do you think the Flying Skate jersey... Yeah, they've said that it's the permanent third jersey, Harry. So it is going to be the Flying Skate now going forward. Radio was saying, good chance Shen gets traded, but do you probably get what Jordy Ben get, like 4th or 5th round pick? Yeah, we think he's great here, but he's only going to be a 6th or 7th defenseman on a stronger team. Will Costco be back in the goal soon? Costco, who's that? Do you mean Demko? I think he's still a couple weeks away. Word on the street is that Bedard was secretly in the building tonight since he's playing the Prospects game in Langley tomorrow. Let the conspiracy begin. What do you think happens at the deadline? Do you think the Canucks should be like Montreal last year and be sellers, get picks and prospects, or young NHL players? I think they will be active, and I think they'll get young players because that's what Rutherford wants. Besser's my favorite player, but if it came down to him, I'd trade him to resign You could get your wish. You think to talk about play pods and Hoglander? I'd love to see the kids being cool. You know, what's interesting is he doesn't make the call, though, to bring up. That's Patrick Alvin call. No problem. Don't need to apologize if you think it's going to be 4-3 Seattle. Do you think Will Lockwood will play tomorrow against Seattle? I heard he got injured tonight. Oh, is that why he only played 6 minutes? Maybe. I didn't know about the no selling Miller shirts. Low-key biggest positive coaching change is having Adam Foote and Gonchar. Yes, I agree. You can tell they wanted to emphasize defense. They'll pay off down the road. Is it harder to trade your division? If so, why? It's because you hate to trade someone in your division and then you play them more often and you play them in the playoffs. So imagine if Horvat goes to Seattle and then torches us during the regular season and then eliminates us from playoff contention. That's like the worst case scenario, but that's why you don't like to trade within your division. I don't mind winning personally or losing. Sorry, I don't mind winning personally or losing, but be consistent at something. Pick one or the other. Take $2 million retained off Miller, trade him. I'm not sure if a team would want him at 6 times 8, but his contract hasn't kicked in yet. Yeah, his no trade doesn't kick in until his contract kicks in. Could Bedard demand to be traded and pull Lindros? Garland was okay. 16 minutes. He was okay. Is Alvin back in your closet? Yeah, I haven't opened it in a while. We'll see. Would you get a player like McDavid or Austin Matthews? What do you mean, would I get a player? Of course. What are you asking, Harry? Would I want a player like them? Yes. But I'm not sure if that's what you're asking. Do you think the Canucks will get Bedard? I have a feeling no. But they will get a good player. Did I see all the GMs at the game tonight? No, I didn't actually. So they're scouting the Canucks players, obviously. Atmosphere was good. Lunar New Year game. There was some interest in Rick Tocchet for sure and how the Canucks would play. I thought the atmosphere was good. Don't know, Birdie, when Kayla's going to be on the show again. I like her in bed by 11 when I start. Foot and Gonchar is a huge addition. Boudreaux should fire a lawsuit. I'm not sure T is going to go there. He might not have liked the way he was dismissed, but there's nothing illegal about it. Oh, I think he's asking if you'd rather have McDavid or Matthews. I'm sorry. If that's what the question is, I'll still take McDavid over Matthews. Dogwood wants the NHL to fix the draft. When will the second Pettersson join the NHL? I give him 2 years. Yes, I'm at the 40-minute mark. I saw that, Robert. Thank you. GMs were in town for the top prospects game. Perfect. And that's a perfect way to end. You guys are awesome. 123 of you in here. I could keep going for another half an hour, but I can't. I have an hour of prayer waiting for me. So thank you, everyone, for being here. Moderators, thank you. Looks like despite how big this was today, you didn't have to do much, which is awesome. No complaints there. Shout out to legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Justin Credible, legendary Andrew Chang, Hall of Fame and franchise members. Thanks to all of you. And thanks to all of you, everyone else, for being here, supporting me all the time. Thank you, Elfren, for the donation. I appreciate you. And thank you for the wonderful, constructive, respectful conversation tonight. It was awesome. Tomorrow, I will be on at 11 p.m. once again. The Canucks play against the Seattle Kraken. I'm not doing Game Over because it's my church night, but I will be here at 11 to break down the game, and we'll see if I have to rush off. Probably not tomorrow, but especially if the Canucks win, I'll be in a really good mood. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's a very tough opponent tomorrow for sure. So thanks, everyone. I hope that you have a really good night. As always, subscribe if you'd like to. Like this video if you'd like to. Become a member. Upgrade your membership. Leave a donation if you'd like to. And make sure that you rate and review if you're on a podcast platform. And thank you to Van City Experts Real Estate. Thank you to Perform and Transform Personal Training and Weight Loss. Thanks, everyone. I got to go. As always, stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. I know a lot of you, quiet, Siri. A lot of people think that Gil and I have a really good relationship, and we do, a great marriage, but it wasn't always that way. In fact, when we were dating in high school, one time Gil poked me right in the eyes. So I stopped seeing her for a while. God bless, and go Canucks go. Booyah.